Hey guys, good morning. Charles Williams here. Another episode of Parking Lot Thoughts. I know it's my first day off of school and it's still pretty dark outside, but old habits are hard to break. So yesterday was a pretty crazy day. Just with everything happening, it was our goal was to get students ready for these next 2 weeks. And it's interesting. My wife is a teacher in Indiana. We live in Indiana, so my daughters are, there's two of my daughters are in school here in Indiana. And it's interesting seeing this duality, of how different states are handling this crisis. And I think this is a smaller picture of what's an issue is on a much larger scale, if you will. Because the problem is right in CPS right now in Illinois, we have the next 2 weeks off, and they are not e-learning days. They are emergency days that we will not have to make up. And I know that we're pretty sure it's going to go beyond that, but we have this 2 week kind of buffer window right now to figure things out. I have a webinar scheduled later today as part of that. But in Indiana, the governor didn't declare anything. Holcomb didn't declare anything. And so every district essentially is creating their own rules on how they're going to be moving forward. My daughter's school, for example, in their district, they're on e-learning days. Same with my wife. And so it's kind of just interesting seeing these different approaches to dealing with this crisis. And, the one thing that we talked about so much at work yesterday was the need for a consistent plan, across the board. Illinois was shutting down its bars and restaurants. Indiana, made a decision shortly afterwards. And it made me think about, something I was watching on the news with the governor of New York saying, if we shut down, our people are going to hop over to Jersey or vice versa. And so it's again this idea of the need for cohesion, for consistency, when we're dealing with an issue this large. And I think it's just, my thought on this whole thing is just in general, right? This idea for the need of consistency, this idea for this need of cohesion, not only in times of crisis, but in general, to make sure that we're all on the same page, that we're all moving in the same direction, with the same goals in mind. Because when you have these fractured entities, everybody kind of doing their own thing, it's really hard to make sure that, these goals are met, or that the best interest of our students, are in place. So I know that my own parking lot thoughts may seem a little fractured this morning, but it's still trying to process everything that's happening. So I do plan on continuing to release these for you guys. So again, be smart, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.